Let me tell you a story. Mary turned 65 last summer. She had retired from her job as a school librarian, and for the first time in decades, her calendar was wide open. But instead of feeling free, she felt lost. Her energy was low. Her knees ached just walking up the stairs, and sometimes she'd forget why she walked into a room. Is this just what getting old feels like? She asked herself one afternoon, sitting alone at her kitchen table, stirring lukewarm coffee. But here's the twist: Mary's story did not end there. In fact, that question she asked herself, "Is this just aging?" became the spark that lit up a whole new chapter in her life. A chapter filled with renewed energy, sharper memory, and even laughter-filled dance classes at the community center. Today, I want to share with you exactly what Mary did: 6 daily habits that anyone over 60 can adopt to not only slow down aging, but to actually reignite joy, strength, and mental clarity. Because aging is not a curse. It is not a slow fade into the background. Aging, if we do it right, can be our most empowered season of life. And no, you do not need a personal trainer, a private chef, or a bunch of expensive supplements. You need simple, consistent habits that honor your biology, your story, and your rhythm. If you're listening to this and you've been feeling tired more than usual, if your memory is not quite as sharp as it used to be, if your doctor told you that your blood pressure or sugar is creeping up, then this episode was made for you. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 6 longevity habits, each one backed by real science, each one proven to make a difference for seniors just like you who want to feel better, move easier, and enjoy more years with the people they love. These are habits you can start today, no matter your age, no matter your current health. And listen, you might think I've heard health tips before, and nothing really changed. But stick with me, because what I'm about to share is not just about tips. It's about building a lifestyle that protects your body and brain like armor. Because here's what I believe: you're never too old to take your health into your own hands. So grab a cup of tea, find a comfortable chair, and let's begin this journey together. This is Longevity Life, and we're about to turn aging on its head. The hidden health challenges. After 60. Let's be honest for a moment. Most people over 60, maybe even you, have been told at some point that feeling more tired, forgetting little things, or putting on extra weight is just part of getting older. Doctors say it. Friends nod along, and society has sort of accepted it. But here's the truth. That's not aging. That's neglect. Neglecting simple health habits. Neglecting the body's changing needs. Neglecting the power of consistent daily care. And most importantly, neglecting the belief that your later years can actually be your best. Now let's talk about what really happens to the body and mind as we age, not to scare you, but to empower you. First, energy drops. You wake up already tired. Afternoon naps go from optional to necessary. Why? Well, your mitochondria, the powerhouses inside your cells, naturally slow down with age. But inactivity, poor diet, and dehydration make that worse. It's like running your car with old fuel and no oil change. Second brain fog creeps in. You forget names, miss appointments, or walk into a room and can't remember why. It's not dementia, not always. It could be chronic inflammation, poor sleep, or even nutritional deficiencies, all of which can be changed. Third, joints start aching. Knees, hips, fingers, they become stiff. That's often due to lack of movement, loss of muscle, and a diet that increases inflammation. And let me tell you, stiffness isn't inevitable. It's often a result of how we move or don't move. Fourth, mood and motivation shift. You might feel more anxious, less excited, or even disconnected. You're not alone. Hormonal changes, social isolation, and hidden nutrient gaps can deeply affect your emotional well-being. Fifth, chronic conditions creep in. High blood pressure, prediabetes, cholesterol issues, they often show up in your 60s. But here's the thing, many of these are not permanent. They are signals. Messages from your body saying, Please take better care of me. One of my longtime patients, Jim, a 73-year-old former mechanic from Ohio, came to me frustrated. He said, "Doc, I'm just not myself anymore. I get winded at tying my shoes." We talked. I asked about his routine. Breakfast coffee and toast. Movement? Barely. Water. Maybe 2 cups a day. Sleep in bed at 1 a.m., waking up every hour. Jim didn't need a miracle. He needed a reset. And so do many seniors across America today. But the problem is not just the body. It's the messaging we receive. Society often tells seniors, sit down. Rest? Let others do it. But the truth is, the body thrives on use. Muscles, joints, the brain, they all work on a use it or lose it basis. And here's something many do not realize. Decline is not destiny. In fact, scientific studies from the blue zones, places around the world where people regularly live, past 100 show that simple daily practices, not genetics, are the biggest contributors to health and longevity. So if you've been told to just accept the aches, the forgetfulness, the tired days, I want to gently challenge that. Yes, we age. Yes, some things do change. But vibrant health, that's still on the table. In the next part of this podcast, I'll walk you through what science says about reversing yes. Reversing many signs of aging. Not through fads or gimmicks, but through simple, sustainable lifestyle shifts that you can start today. But first, I want to hear from you. Have you noticed more fatigue or memory slip-ups lately? Type yes in the comments if that's you. Or type still sharp if you're feeling strong and want to stay that way. Let's support each other on this journey, the science of aging and how to outsmart it. Let's get something straight. Right now, aging is not a disease. It's a natural process. But how we age, that's deeply influenced by the choices we make every single day. And that's not just hopeful thinking. That's science. Let's start with the brain. As we age, our brain cells' neurons begin to fire more slowly. Some cells even die off, and our brain's ability to form new connections called neuroplasticity starts to decline. But here's the good news, the brain can still form new pathways well into our 80s and beyond, if we give it the right fuel and stimulation. So what slows brain decline? One word: inflammation. Chronic low-level inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of aging-related diseases, from memory loss to arthritis to heart disease. Scientists even call it inflammaging. But what causes this? Poor sleep, a diet full of processed foods, a sedentary lifestyle, high stress, environmental toxins like heavy metals and pesticides. All of these send your immune system into overdrive, creating ongoing inflammation that wears down tissues and cells. The mitochondria, those tiny energy factories in your cells, are especially vulnerable. When they're damaged, your energy crashes and your body starts aging faster on the inside and outside. Now, let's talk about something most people forget: glutathione. It's a mouthful, I know, but glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. Think of it as the cleaner that mops up the mess from inflammation toxins and cellular waste. After age 50, our glutathione levels naturally drop. But certain foods, especially cruciferous vegetables like kale, broccoli, and cauliflower, can boost it again. These vegetables contain sulforaphane, which activates your body's detox pathways and strengthens your antioxidant defenses. What about memory? What helps the brain stay sharp? Well, studies show that flavonoids found in blueberries, green tea, black currants, and elderberries can protect brain cells from oxidative damage. One study published in the journal Neurology found that older adults who consumed higher amounts of flavonoids had a 40% lower risk of cognitive decline. And it's not just about food. Sleep is the unsung hero of healthy aging. When you sleep, your brain literally cleans itself. There's a system called the glymphatic system, kind of like a sanitation crew that washes away toxins and waste including beta amyloid, the protein linked to Alzheimer's. So if you're skimping on sleep, you're not just tired, you're letting toxins build up in your brain. And don't worry, I'm not asking you to sleep for 10 hours. Even 7 solid hours of quality sleep can make a major difference. Hydration plays a role too. Did you know that your brain is about 73% water? Even mild dehydration can cause memory issues, fatigue, and brain fog. That's why drinking at least 8 cups of clean filtered water a day is non-negotiable, and more if you're active on medication or live in a hot climate. Now let's take a quick detour to genetics. You might have heard of the APOE4 gene, which increases the risk of Alzheimer's. Some people avoid testing for it because they think there's nothing they can do. But here's what studies show: having the gene is not a guarantee. In fact, many people with the gene never develop Alzheimer's, and many people without it still do. Why? Because genes are just one piece of the puzzle. Your lifestyle is the master switch. Even if you inherit risk, what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress, these are the levers you can pull. And finally, let's talk about the gut. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria. Your gut microbiome, which plays a huge role in immune health, mood, and even brain function. The wrong diet. Think sugar-fried foods. Processed carbs feeds the bad bacteria. The right diet, rich in fiber, polyphenols, and fermented foods, helps the good ones thrive. Why does that matter for seniors? Because poor gut health has been linked to higher levels of anxiety, depression, and even dementia. A healthy gut can lower inflammation, improve nutrient absorption, and support better brain chemistry. Bottom line, aging is influenced by many levers: inflammation, mitochondrial health, antioxidants, sleep, hydration, genetics, and gut health. And every one of those levers can be adjusted with daily habits. You do not need to understand every scientific term. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. And that's what I'll walk you through next. Practical, easy to apply habits that bring all this science to life. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment one below to let me know you're with me. My father. My mentor and the garlic that saved his mind. I want to tell you about a man who never forgot a birthday, never needed a reminder to lock the front door, and who at age 90 still beat me at chess. That man was my father. He was born during the Great Depression, served his country in the Navy, worked in steel for over 4 decades, and built our family home with his bare hands. He wasn't a scientist or a doctor, but in many ways, he understood something that modern science is only now catching up to: the link between food and the mind. Now here's the thing about my dad: he loved garlic. Not just liked it, loved it. The man would pack whole bulbs in his lunchbox. When we'd go to restaurants, he'd carry cloves in his coat pocket like breath mints. His coworkers used to tease him, saying the vampires would never dare come near the steel mill. But behind the garlic breath was a man who never forgot a face, who never got sick, who even at age 78 had sharper recall than I did in my 30s. As I started studying nutrition later in life, I finally understood why. Garlic is rich in allicin, a sulfur-based compound that supports detoxification in the liver and boosts levels of glutathione, your body's master antioxidant. It fights inflammation, supports circulation, and acts as a natural antimicrobial. It's a food with ancient roots and modern credibility. But my father didn't eat garlic because of a medical study. He ate it because he believed in it. And maybe that's what made all the difference. You see, my mother was different. She was bright, creative, a wonderful cook, but in her late 60s, we began to notice small things: misplaced keys, repeated questions, forgotten appointments. The day she called me in tears because she couldn't find the grocery store, the one she'd gone to every week for 2 decades, my heart sank. She was diagnosed with early-stage dementia a year later. My mom didn't love garlic the way my dad did. She preferred packaged foods, fast meals, a little more sugar in her tea. She'd stopped cooking after Dad passed, saying it was too much trouble for just one person. And I get it. I really do. But that loss of routine, that's when the fog began to settle in. In those final years, I watched the woman who once made 30 dishes for Thanksgiving forget how to boil rice. She'd leave the stove on. She'd wander the neighborhood. She forgot my name once. I left her house and cried in the car for an hour. You never forget the moment your parent forgets you, and it's why I'm so passionate about this. Not because I want to scare anyone, but because I want to empower you. If you are listening to this and you still remember your children's birthdays, if you still know the way home, then friend, you still have time. Time to make better choices. Time to eat the foods that protect your brain. Time to move your body, drink your water, get your sleep, and share your wisdom with the next generation. Because I promise you, your grandchildren will thank you one day. Just like I thank my father now every time I chop garlic for dinner, I remember him. That smell. It's not just food. It's legacy. It's love. It's a promise to never take my memory for granted. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If this part of the story touched, you share a memory of someone who inspired your health journey in the comments. 6 daily habits that protect your brain and body. Now that you've heard the stories, let's turn to action. If you want to live longer, move easier, and think sharper, these are the 6 longevity habits I recommend. You do not need to do them perfectly. You just need to start. These are habits that work, whether you're 65 or 85. Habit 1. Eat 1 cruciferous vegetable a day. Start with kale, broccoli, cauliflower, or cabbage. Why? Because cruciferous vegetables contain glucosinolates, which activate your body's glutathione system, the master detoxifier. These veggies help your body process environmental toxins, reduce inflammation, and slow cellular aging. Tip: lightly steam them or stir fry in olive oil. Add garlic for extra brain support. Habit 2. Add garlic to 1 meal daily. We've talked about this, but let me emphasize, garlic supports immune function, fights harmful bacteria, and protects your memory by enhancing brain blood flow. Tip: smash and let garlic rest for 10 minutes before cooking, or roast it whole for a milder flavor. Habit 3. Drink 1 cup of green tea each morning. Green tea contains epigallocatechin, galate EGCG, a compound that can cross the blood-brain barrier to protect neurons. It reduces brain fog, improves focus, and supports neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. Tip: steep loose leaf green tea for 3 to 4 minutes. Avoid drinking past the afternoon to protect your sleep. Habit 4. Eat a handful of berries. Daily blueberries, black currants. Black raspberries and elderberries are rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that protect your memory and cardiovascular health. Tip: use wild frozen blueberries in smoothies or oatmeal. Mix elderberry syrup with yogurt for a delicious brain-boosting snack. Habit 5. Move your body. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. This doesn't mean you have to run a marathon. Walking gentle, Tai Chi light, gardening, or dancing in your living room all count. Exercise improves cerebral blood flow, reduces stress, and increases longevity. Tip: start with a 5-minute walk after meals. Build slowly. Aim for 10,000 steps per day, or whatever is more than what you did yesterday. Habit 6. Hydrate smart with clean water. Your brain is 73% water. Dehydration affects your memory, mood, and mobility. But here's the catch: tap water, especially in older homes, can contain lead or arsenic. Tip: use a certified water filter. Let your tap run cold water for 30 to 60 seconds before drinking, especially if you live in an older house. Drink at least 2 quarts a day, more if you are active or in warm weather. Each of these 6 habits supports both your brain and your body. Let me be clear. This is not about being perfect. This is about consistency over time. Just like Mary, just like my father. You can change your future one small habit at a time. If you're planning to try even one of these, comment "try" below. I'd love to cheer you on. Aging with intention. Living with grace. So let's bring it all together. Aging well is not about chasing youth. It's about protecting what matters. Your independence, your memories, your ability to enjoy simple joys, like cooking, walking, laughing with grandkids, or reading a good book without forgetting where you left off. You've just learned about 6 simple science-backed daily habits that can help you defend your brain, fuel your body, and turn every meal, every step, every sip of tea into a powerful investment in your future. Let me ask you, which habit speaks to you most today? Is it the cruciferous vegetables? The daily green tea? Maybe that 10-minute walk after dinner? Wherever you start, just start. Your health is not just in your genes, it is in your hands. I want to leave you with this thought. You are not too late. You are right on time. Every day your body is rebuilding. Your brain is rewiring. Your choices still matter deeply. And when you treat your health like something precious, your future becomes something powerful. Now, if you enjoyed this journey, and if any part of today's episode resonated with you, please do this. Take a moment and share one thing you learned and how you plan to use it. I read every comment, and I'd love to cheer you on. If you haven't subscribed to Longevity Life yet, now is the time. Hit that button and ring the bell, because every week we share new ways to make your health your legacy. And if you want to dive deeper into anti-aging foods and powerful longevity strategies, check out our next video, 7 longevity foods that rebuild your brain after 60. It's a must-watch if brain health matters to you. Until next time, remember your best years are not behind you. They are still ahead if you choose to live them with care, intention, and grace. From me, Dr. John Smith, and the whole team at Longevity Life, thank you for listening. Thank you for caring for yourself, and thank you for being part of this beautiful journey toward a longer, stronger, wiser life.